If you've watched some of my older videos, you may remember my worktop and how messy it used to be. And this is what it looked like after about 3 years of collecting paint drips, resin drips, and a few coffee stains. Now, I may have gotten a new worktop, but that doesn't mean I just threw this one away. You knew better than that. Not much goes to waste around here. I just repurpose it for something new. It may take a little bit of sanding and a little bit of TLC, but it's not trash. You may, if you've seen some of my earlier videos, you may recognize this. This is my old worktop, and I finally graduated to a big girl worktop, which is what you see here. But the wood is actually still a pretty good wood. I don't know what kind of wood it is. It's really lightweight. And I cut it into this fish shape. I sanded it. I even sanded the back. And I'm a little bit torn about really doing anything with it because, like, the pattern on it is just really cool. It's captured all, I mean, a lot of the drips. There's paint drips, there's resin drips, there's all kinds of stuff on here. Maybe a little bit of silicone. There's a little bit of everything. So, you know, usually I would paint some kind of pattern on here, but I at least want to keep this part. This is like a natural eye right here, but I really like this pattern right here. And so I'm going to kind of divide my fish right here. This is the bottom end of a cocktail glass that I had painted, and it broke in a windstorm at one of my art shows. But I trimmed off all the thin glass, and I really love this piece. It's very heavy, and that is going to be my fisheye. But right here, I'm going to leave this part. And then for the body, you know, the tail I'm going to leave also because I like the tail. But for the body, I have a lot of leftover glass and little pieces of shell. Here's some pony beads, which I don't really like. But I am going to use the glass for the body of my fish. Let me get these pony beads out. I don't really like them. Should I leave them in there? I don't know. It's just a lot of leftover glass from when I was doing Christmas trees at Christmas time. And I'm going to use up the rest of my glass. I think I'm going to mix it all up. Time to get ready for the upcoming season. But I'm going to mix it all up. I got a little bit of blue here. I don't know if I can get that in there too. Might as well. It's going to be really pretty. And then seal it all with resin. I think this is a piece of resin. All right, it's going to be fish of many colors. I'll probably pick these out. I don't really like them. Don't know if I'm going to have enough. I'm kind of push it. Boy, there's little shells in there too. It's really literally like a trash fish. That's kind of how I see it. And I think the colors are going to be really cool. This is just glass that I have crushed over the course of a year. There's some big pieces in there I might take out, or I could leave it in there. But I have crushed this for use in my crushed glass Christmas trees that I make at Christmas. And I never throw any of the scraps away. I feel like I think I'm going to leave the fin alone, and I'm going to leave the tail alone too. So I'm going to try to push this glass all the way to the top. And this is literally the last bit of glass that I have. And I was working, making Christmas trees right up until the last minute. Like I said, this thing is a little bit unlevel, but I'm gonna try to push it all the way to the edge if I can. Hole right there. Okay. I could probably put a little bit more along this edge, but I don't know if I'm risking going over. I could kind of push it a little bit. I like that. Okay. So the resin I'm going to use is the Bond Craftor tabletop resin. It's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. The reason I want to use it is because it's self-leveling, but it's perfect for coating. So I don't really need I don't really need a coating resin here. I could use the regular Bond Craftor, but for the face and the tail, I'm gonna need a resin that's more for coating. Otherwise, you could get fish eyes. I mean, the type of resin really does make a difference. It's a gallon kit, and it comes with, you know, half gallon of A, a half gallon of B, and you will pretty much get everything you need. You have mixing cups, leveling spatulas, like if you're doing a tabletop, instructions, of course. You have little stir sticks, which I think I'm going to go ahead and use, and then gloves. And so I am going to glove up because I am going to be probably touching the resin for this for sure. And not worried about my level work surface because my fish is not level. So, all right. Don't really know how much I need. So I might as well mix up more than what I think I need. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and raise this up a little bit. Just elevate it on some cups so that if I do get drips, it won't matter. Sure, this is a typo. At a thickness of a 1/4 inch, 1 gallon of epoxy is approximate for 12 square kilometers. That's a lot of coverage. Okay. It is very thick, and I'm thinking I might be getting a flash cure. I don't know, but I'm going to start drizzling because this is getting really, really thick. Gloopy like cow snot. And it really is thick and gloopy like cow snot. And I know that from experience because I have seen cow snot, and it's thick and gloopy. But that's what makes it perfect as a coating resin because it's so thick, it levels out and then it doesn't drip over the sides. Now I am running my hand along the edge and along the bottom just to make sure that we don't have great big drips, but it's absolutely perfect for coating. I have a long working time. I'm able to spread it either with my stick or my hand. I'm really, really happy with the Bond Craftor tabletop resin. Okay, gotta wait now. Got some drips, but that's okay. I can sand those off, and I don't care about the back anyway. I am absolutely thrilled with this. Got a couple little rough spots, but that's just my own error. And even though my board was very warped, the resin, I mean, I got drips. I definitely got drips, but not as much as I thought. So, what I need to do now probably need to sand the drips off the back. His eyeball. Ooh, let's see if I lose any glass. Not much. Oh, he's so cute. Can't wait to see this in the sun. Okay, so in the back, I am going to sand off these drips, and I'm just going to use my my rotary sander. I don't think I want to use a sawtooth hanger here because I think this is going to be too heavy. So I am going to use 2 screws and some wire. And this is one of my junk boxes. This is a box where all of my little bits and pieces go into, because you never know when you're going to need them. And I do have, I mean, I have a box of screws in my shed. I just don't feel like going out there. It's cold. I mean, cold for Florida. I just want some wood screws. I think this size. These are a weird little. I literally put everything in here. This is a good size. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I think the sawtooth hanger is just not gonna be strong enough to hold this. This is a little bit heavy. I want to put it fairly wide so that it can be balanced, because I don't really know where that magic balance point is going to be. So I'm going to put one screw here. Like that. Right there. And y'all, I am not painting the back. I like it. It's quirky, and it's kind of makes me unique, makes my stuff unique. So it's not like everybody else's. I'm not going to paint it. So I am going to wrap really well around one. And this is just, what's this, 20 gauge, I think, 22 gauge. Just craft wire. And I'm going to loop it a couple of times. Yeah, I know I can get picture hanging wire, make it a little neater, but this works just fine. That'll be nice and strong. All right, so I'm going to take this out and sand it. So there are some sharp pieces on here. I mean, they're not super sharp, like I'm, running my hand on it. I don't tumble my glass. This is just really small, fine bits of glass. And I mean, an adult needs to know better than to touch everything that they see just to see if it's sharp. If a child comes up to my booth and goes to touch it, I generally do tell parents, hey, and most people are very understanding. They don't let their children touch things that are obviously fragile. But so here is the finished fish, and I'm really, really happy with this Bond Craftor tabletop resin. It is nice and thick. I got 0 fish eyes except for the one great big one, but the resin itself did not fish eye. Not that you would notice on this, since the background is so chunky, and I really don't care that I have fish eyes on the glass part itself. But I am so happy with this. This is literally 100% trash to treasure. This wood, I was going to toss it in the trash anyway, and I'm glad I didn't. Like, I just made something really quirky and really fun and really colorful, and I think someone is going to love to take it home. So let me know what you think. Make it a crafty day, friends. Bye.